So you mentioned that you're a bit of a different trade. Not different trades. You're a bit of a... You've got your finger in different pots. That's not the word. What am I supposed to say?
Jack of all trades?
Jack of all trades. That's what I wanted to say.
I think it's fingers in pies, right?
Fingers in pies, yeah, not fingers in pots. Although I do paint pots.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. That's what it is. So I would like to know, how did your design career start? I want to know from the beginning what happened.
From the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, I'll try and summarise as best I can, because I feel like my journey into the industry / every side hustle under the sun I've discovered is a long one. But yeah, I've always been interested in art from a young age. You know, everyone says that, but it's true. Like my GCSEs, they were performing arts, art and media studies.
So they were all...
You couldn't get more creative if I tried. I was actually lucky because when I chose my GCSEs, you didn't have to pick like a history or geography or a language.
A boring one.
Yeah, I just like kind of scooted over that.
I was the same. I think I did the same.
Yeah, and then for my A-levels I did English, maths, dance and art, which is a combo.
And eclectic.
But I always knew I wanted to do something creative. I found graphic design through work experience actually. Knew nothing about it really. Applied to 5 different unis, whatever you have to do. And it was actually because my art teacher kind of said to me, she's like, oh no, you won't last a year doing that.
Really?
I was just like, oh yeah.
Rude.
Oh yeah, you're just like, oh yeah, maybe you'll try out for a year and then you'll kind of go crawling back to fine art. And I was just like, I'll show you.
So that was the motivation that you needed.
A little bit,
yeah. Spurred you on.
Yeah, a little bit. It was a bit mad. But I went to these graphic design interviews and obviously my whole portfolio was fine art. And rightly or wrongly, my then, well, what was to become my lecturer said to me, you don't know what you want. You've come into a graphic design interview with a fine art portfolio. What's going on here? And at the time I was like, I don't know. But then I actually remembered that I'd not shown him my memory stick full of like, you know, posters and business cards and actual like graphic design stuff. And that's what changed his mind to be like, oh,
that looks good. Like
he literally said, this changes everything. And then said, I'll see you in September. And I was like, oh,
wow.
Maybe I'm moving to Manchester. So I've not mentioned, but I'm actually from Wolverhampton, but I grew up in Wales, which is why my accent is questionable.
I think it's a very lovely accent.
Oh, that's the first thing I said. I was like, can I ask, where are you from?
What's going on?
I was like, your accent, like, there'll be certain words that she'll say, and I'm like, that's different.
Yeah.
But then it won't go with the rest of the sentence, and she was like, well, and then that's when you told me about that, about where you're from. And
I think I also pick up, like, every person I've ever spoke to, I think I pick up a little bit of their accent, and like, my best friend's from Hull, so I lived with her for a long time, so then I picked up her accent on certain words, which is quite hilarious as a mix. But anyway, my story. So I did graphic design for 3 years, and I really love the course, to be fair. I know there's sometimes with a graphic design course, depending on where you go, you either love it or hate it. And what I learned about doing a graphic design course is that you need to throw yourself into it. And it turned out to be an advantage for me that I'd never done graphic design before.
Right.
Because I went in first year and they were like, oh yeah, we're going to use Illustrator and InDesign. And I was like, what's that?
Yeah.
Because I'd only ever used Photoshop. Like, that was the only Adobe program I knew of. And I was like, oh, God. But that was the spurring thing that I was just like, right, I need to learn everything about these programs. Obviously, I don't know everything because that would be impossible.
Well, I feel like we'll never know everything, will we?
No. There's always, like, sneaky little tools in there. I see reels all the time. It's like, did you know you could do this in Illustrator? I was like, what?
Yeah?
Where have you been? But I just threw myself in first year, and my philosophy was more, if I haven't done it yet, more reason to try.
I love that. That's so nice.
I think that's what didn't hold me back in that course. And when it got to second year, we were given the option, you either do communication design, which is more of your like standard graphic design, or focus on illustration or focus on motion. And I was like, okay, which one out of those 3 do I know the least about? Motion.
And that's how you chose
That's
it.
what I went into. So I specialised in motion for all of second year, just because why not? You're in this environment, you might as well. And then the same in third year, I was just like, okay, what haven't I tried yet? So then that's when I did stuff with like the laser cutter and screen printing and...
Oh my God, I love a laser cutter.
Me too.
I love it.
Yeah, so story behind when I used the laser cutter. So I was also in the dance society.
Yeah.
And in third year, I was the choreographer. So on the side of uni, we were putting on like 2 massive shows. So as part of my final major project in third year, I was like, well, I'm going to have to do all the branding for this show anyway. I might as well include it as part of my graphic design project. Yeah, so it was great because our first show was called The Book of Legends, and it was all about like, you know, legendary artists and we choreographed dances to them. So I did all of the tickets as bookmarks. And I used the laser cutter to kind of like carve in this illustration that I'd done, but I got to do it all for free because it was all through uni. So it was great.
Love it.
Love that.
Little hack. But yeah, I finished uni, got a first.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
We love to see it.
Yes. No,
Yes, queen.
it was great. I did a little twirl on stage on graduation.
Oh, did
And,
you?
Yeah, I was just like,
love
this is my moment. You know, I'm never going to get to do this again unless I
She
decide
sent me a
to
video
do
of it, and I was like, 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
10 out of 10.
It's hilarious because one of my friends recorded it, and you can just hear her go, "Oh, Soph." But she was not surprised. It was just really funny. So after that, I actually decided, I was like, there's so much pressure really to finish your degree and go, right now you've got to get a job. You've got to get a job in the industry, or else what's the point? Like, what have you worked 3 years for if you don't go straight in?
This is why you did it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't think like that. I was like, you know what? I have worked for 3 years. I'm tired. I need a break. I don't want to go straight into the industry and be done with it. And at the time, I was working at the Lowry Theatre doing like conferences and weddings, you know, polishing cutlery. And I was like, I'm just going to chill here for a bit and see what I want to do.
I really like that. Do you know what I'm discovering through this? That you think outside the box.
Yeah.
You're like outside, you don't care. You're just like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
I love that. So, and also I've noticed that you're always busy.
Oh, yeah.
You've always got a lot on.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Designer bags. No.
Yeah, my eye bags are Chanel.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just like, well, I'm just going to chill in hospitality for a bit and actually see what I want to do rather than rush to the next best thing. That's when I got a place on this course, which is called School of Thought. And it's basically a 10-week intensive advertising course about conceptual thinking. So every week you would go to a different advertising agency and you get a brief on the Monday, and then you go home, think about it, come up with your ideas, and then on the Thursday you go back to that agency and present.
Yeah.
Repeat for 10 weeks.
That's so cool.
I mean, I describe it as the best thing that ever caused a breakdown because it was intense. It was hard.
Really?
Yeah, and I got the reputation for just coming up with loads of ideas. I would, without fail, present 3 each week, whereas like most people would present 1, maybe 2. I was just like, no, my mentor now, a very good friend, she did it, and she's one of the reasons I got onto the course. And she was like, no, go in with 3 because then you get the most feedback, you get the most of the time.
Yeah.
And you remembered as well, I guess.
Yeah, that is true. Definitely remembered.
Yeah, and it was a fabulous experience, but I would not do it again.
You wouldn't?
Yeah, I couldn't do it again. It was too mentally straining, but I recommend it to anyone to try and get onto it. From that, one of the weeks was actually at my old agency, and I remember the lady from HR kind of saying as a blanket statement, like, if anyone's interested in any opportunities, just send me an email. So I was just like, oh well, might as well give it a go. And nothing. No reply, nothing. Didn't hear from her until 3 months later. And what's important to kind of note here is me and my little arrogant thinking outside the box self had the slogan, I don't apply for jobs, jobs apply for me.
I love that. Do you know what that's like? That's a bit like what's it called? The thing where manifestation. You're manifesting it. Like,
Yeah.
you're not chasing it.
Me
You're
and the
just-
universe have a deal, I think.
I think this is what I'm discovering. You really do have a deal.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I kept saying it. I was just like, I don't apply for jobs, jobs apply for me. And that's how I would just think. And I, like, with manifestation, I believed it. And I was just like,
Yeah.
it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think as well, that's why I was so chill, just kind of carrying on in hospitality. Because I'm like, jobs
I don't
apply
want
for
to be
me.
Whatever's gonna happen's gonna happen.
I don't want to be a dampener, but I mean, in normal circumstances, know whatever deal you've got going on with the universe. But that isn't always the case. You do have to work hard for jobs. You do have to apply for jobs.
Oh yeah, don't worry. Like I have done that since. I'll get onto that.
Yeah.
But yeah, please take this. This is my experience. This is not everyone's experience. But yeah, 3 months later I got a call from that same lady that I emailed. And she wanted to tell me about this different job opportunity that they got. And it wasn't a design role or an art director role. It wasn't any of that. I mean, I did the job for 2 years and I still don't know what it was. But it was good. I learned a hell of a lot. It was an internal role and it was a bit of everything, but it definitely helped me get to where I am now.
Yeah.